What's up, everybody? It's your boy, Tru Element 78, the slapper of Xavier Mustafa, all up and down his own promotion. Back in the building with...
This is your one and only reigning, defending Mondo Lucha Hall of Famer, member of the Urban Horsemen, member of the Brotherhood of Wrestling, the X-Man, Xavier Mustafa.
And everybody's favorite narcissist, the natural Chris Black, hater of WrestleMania this year.
How lucky you are that your name is Chris Black and not Chris Rock.
Hey, this is the most stupendous WrestleMania of all time.
I swear they need to have that match booked. I want Will Smith and Chris Rock booked on this show.
Oh, Chris Rock Black to be booked on the show? Is that what you said?
This man should give them a call like, hey, fellas, we can settle this in the ring.
Chris Black rocked out, maybe.
Anyway.
Yeah, think of the promos back and forth, especially Chris Rock. Chris Rock could probably out-promo Will Smith.
Oh, Chris Rock would eat him up.
Yeah, he might also out-promo Xavier Mustafa, you know. Just thought.
Can't be out-promoted.
Anyways, today is March 30th, 2022, and we are here with a very special YouTube video for you guys. But before we proceed any further, make sure you Chris Rock that subscribe button as well as that like button so that the algorithm recognizes us and that you don't miss any episodes from the Saturday Night Slamcasters when they go up on YouTube. Also, find us on your favorite podcasting network or app. Completely different content. Twice a month, we go in there, we review the current wrestling product. But like I said, today we're here to discuss the most stupendous weekend in WWE, where we're going to have the NXT pay-per-view as well as night 1 and night 2 of WrestleMania, which one of our comrades is actually going to be attending. Are you looking forward to that?
I am looking forward to being at my first WrestleMania because it's WrestleMania, and I never really wanted to go to WrestleMania, but now that I'm going, I'm excited.
Well, sucks that you're going to this WrestleMania for your first one. I guess it's going to be all worth it just seeing Stone Cold, being there for the entrance, and Rock versus Roman Reigns. That's about it.
The Hall of Fame, man. The Undertaker Hall of Fame. I think this is the best WrestleMania to go to, mainly for that reason.
But I'm talking WrestleMania card-wise. Well, I'm not going to shit on AJ Styles and Edge. I think that's going to be a good one, too. But that's about it, though. I mean, nothing else. Seth Rollins to be announced. That's going to be interesting.
I think Pat McAfee and Austin Theory is going to be pretty good.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, the other day I was thinking to myself, I'm not all that impressed by Austin Theory. I'm really not. I'm not saying the guy is shitty. I'm just saying I'm not that impressed.
But listen, we just named almost half of the entire card that we're looking forward to.
We named about 4 out of
WrestleMania.
We named 4 out of 14.
Well, I'm gonna say I'm actually looking forward to Drew McIntyre versus Happy Corbin. Despite what you might think about the Happy Corbin character, I like Baron Corbin in the ring, and I think him and Drew McIntyre are gonna have a sleeper match.
All right, let's get 2 more. Let's be 50%. For the...
Bobby Lashley and Omos.
Oh no!
Jesus Christ!
The funny thing about that is they already gave away like the big point of the match is taking Omos off his feet. But before we get into the actual predictions for the show, any church announcements?
Legacy Pro Wrestling will be returning to Buena Vista, located on 76 in Oklahoma and Milwaukee, Wisconsin, for the 7th annual Battle for Supremacy. In the main event, it's going to be a 6-man tag. On one side, you're going to have the Legacy Pro Wrestling Heavyweight Champion Isaiah Moore. You're going to have TW3. You're going to have Jay Manny. And on the other side, you're going to have the newest faction, the greatest faction, the Brotherhood of Wrestling, which consists of myself, Devin August, and Rita Atlas. That's your main event, baby.
And make sure you go over to our Facebook, our Slam board, and vote in our poll to get me placed as the special guest referee of this contest.
Listen, that poll is a little biased because the question is, do you want Tru Element to be the special guest referee? The options are yes, hell yes, see other versions of yes. There is not a no.
What do you mean? It's all legal, baby.
I was like, wait a minute, where's the no?
The no is not replying to the poll. What are you talking about?
Makes sense.
Well, there's a whole lot of people saying no then.
We got to push it. We got to push it some more.
Yeah. So, yeah. Vote in that. The link will be down in the description of this episode, actually. Chris Black, you got any church announcements going on? What are your plans for WrestleMania weekend? Where will you be?
Honestly, I may have a busy weekend, and I'm not even going to be fucked up about not watching WrestleMania live. If I happen to catch it, I know for sure I'm not going to be able to watch NXT live. But if I happen to catch WrestleMania live, so be it. But otherwise, I won't be heartbroken. Don't get me wrong, I'm still going to watch it probably later on that night. But I doubt I catch it live. Again, not really fucked up about it. And maybe I'll be spoiled. Maybe will have missed something that I should have watched live. But I'm sorry, they haven't done a good enough job to catch my interest like that. Seriously. This is the first year. Normally, WrestleMania is like a holiday. Like, I really have to make an effort to watch it from start to finish and stuff. I just don't feel it this year.
I was just going to say, like, this is wrestling Christmas. And I feel like even if you don't like what's going on, there is still a level of excitement.
Please, this is Wrestling President's Day.
Hey, it's still a day off from work, baby. But yeah, it just has this whole aura, this whole like, I just can't wait to get down to Dallas and be amongst the people.
I was telling Xavier Mustafa, we're recording this on Wednesday. I gave you guys a date already. That I wish he could have got down there on Thursday so he could have attended either the Bloodsport show or the CYN show that's taking place.
I said I wanted to go and see R-Truth's concert. I think he's doing a concert. I don't know if it's stand-up. I don't know what he's doing. He on stage, and it's just him. So I think it's a concert.
Do you have any other shows that you have on your agenda? I know Effie is doing his show. GCW is running a bunch of shows that weekend as well.
So we can't find any shows that we want to go to that's before WrestleMania. Everything seems to be at the same time or very close to the start of WrestleMania.
Who's running at the same time? Who wants to lose that type of money?
Exactly. But there's a lot of shows. Like there's a bunch of people coming up from Wisconsin, like the Caribbean Connection. What's Doc's wrestling? Doc Simmons?
Doc Simmons, yeah.
Yeah, Doc Simmons. What's Zach's wrestling name?
Pitbull.
God damn.
No, not that Zach. The other Zach. God damn it. Doc's tag team partner.
Just to let you guys know, both of my co-hosts are over 40 now. So besides getting a prostate check,
the tag team of Country Air, they're going to be down there, and all their shows are like 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock shows on Friday and Sunday, or Saturday and Sunday. And I'm like, guys, come on.
Yeah, I'm looking on Facebook and I see this shitty. Well, I'm not even going to call it a promotion because that'll be giving them a little more credit than they are. Some yarder fed Phoenix Pro Wrestling. Yes, I'm going to call you out. The motherfuckers is running this Saturday. I'm just like, why? You're already a shitty ass wannabe promotion, but you want to run up against WrestleMania? Okay.
If they got the dollars.
No, I mean it's up in Wisconsin. I mean it's not that far from my house. If I wasn't so busy, I'd actually go because I enjoy shitty wrestling.
We didn't talk about this place. I've never heard. Who runs this?
Oh man. God damn it. Ace Spade. Our buddies Jim and Jack and Jill.
Mm-hmm.
They work for him, or should I say Jack does? So that should tell you
how we gonna get all this heat off of a prediction show?
Maverick also, quote unquote, wrestles there. Remember Maverick from our SSW days?
Yep, I sure do.
Yeah. So, yeah. So you can see all the great talent they have.
All right. Well, let's go ahead and hop into these predictions. Let's try not to keep the people past 35 minutes. So we'll start off with Xavier Mustafa, and maybe we'll chime in here and there with the NXT. What is it? What is the tagline on this? It says Stand and Deliver.
Yep, Stand and Deliver.
2022, taking place from somewhere in Dallas. So are you attending that?
It is going to be the American Airlines Center in Dallas on Saturday, April 2nd. I am trying to get my crew that I'm with to go, and they kind of don't want to go. So I don't know.
It sounds like you're going with some non-wrestling fans. They don't want to agree to go to anything.
Well, I mean, I get their point. Like, do we really want to go and sit for this 4-hour show to go sit at a 6-hour show later on?
I guess.
Why not?
What else?
That's what you're down there for.
Do down there? There's nothing else going on but wrestling all weekend.
It's true, but so yeah, let's talk about this show. Like I said, it's going to be at the American Airlines Center in Dallas. That's also where SmackDown's going to be. That's also where Raw is going to be. And the kickoff show is going to be starting off with Raquel Gonzalez and Dakota Kai in a tag team match against Gigi Dolan and JC Jane, who are the current NXT Women's Champions.
You can't get a lazier name than JC Jane, but anyway.
So I'm guessing they're going to retain.
Yeah, I do have an opinion on this one. I think they're going to retain. And what a way to bury those tag team titles in the way that we even got to this match. I don't want to get all the way into it, but if you've been watching, you know they had a tournament to determine the number one contenders, and the people that won decided they didn't want to go for the tag team belt. So the people who lost got to go for the tag team titles.
Side note, when did Raquel Gonzalez and Dakota Kai make up?
In that tag team tournament.
Oh, makes sense. Anyway, I'm going with Toxic Attraction just because the direction of NXT is to put the younger people over. So I'm going to go with Toxic Attraction.
Yeah, like I said, I'm going with Toxic Attraction because I think Raquel's going to be getting called up soon, and Dakota Kai is going to be future endeavored. So,
wow. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of agree with that. If she hasn't made it to the main roster yet, like I think they missed the boat on her maybe a year or two ago.
Yeah, based on her injuries and size and all of that, and I think she'll get ate up on the main roster, and that's even without bookings help. Whereas Raquel Gonzalez, I think, can come up there and make a statement.
She's still too green.
Huh?
She's still too green.
I don't think she's still too green. I think that they will move someone around for Raquel Gonzalez, whether that be they actually future endeavor Tamina, or if Tamina has a job for life. Because we already see that what they did with Rhea Ripley, who should have been a monster, and I don't know what direction they're going to take her. I'm getting into the weeds, but yeah.
I mean, Raquel Gonzalez, she goes to the main roster. She's going to get exposed for being too green.
She goes to the main roster. She's going to be in the almost position. So
exposed. The shits.
She'd just be someone's enforcer. I don't know who. Put her with Zelina Vega.
There you go.
Let her
go.
Become Zelina Vega's heavy.
Yeah, I mean that's the role that she needs to be in. She did great as Dakota Kai's heavy.
Or actually, put her with Carmella. Let her become Carmella's heavy. So while Carmella's making out with Corey Graves, Raquel's doing all her heavy lifting and dirty work.
Wait a minute, what is Tamina gonna do then?
Mary, what's it?
Tozawa.
All right, so what else we got?
All right, so moving on the last episode of NXT, Tommaso Ciampa did a backstage segment, and he says, I quote, I hear all the whispers, Stand and Deliver might be an end of an era. Well, in Dallas, we will create that magic one final time. And then he got up and folded his chair up that says 9/9/2015, which is the date he debuted in NXT. And then on the seat part, it has 4/2/2022, which is hinting that this is going to be his last match in NXT versus Tony D'Angelo.
So we know what that means. He's going out on his back.
I actually don't think that he's going to lose to Tony D'Angelo.
I do. Again, I want to go the whole conspiracy. They're erasing everything that Triple H built. But no, the direction that they're going is to push the younger talent. Tommaso Ciampa will be doing the favors.
Well, you would think if he's going to the main roster, he'll leave with a W, but I totally see them making him take an L and then getting him to the main roster and then putting one of them Pulp Fiction mask on him or something.
Yeah, he's going to get a goofy gimmick like Killer Cross.
No, I don't even think he's going to make it on the main roster because Vince is going to be like, he looks too old. The only person that's getting away with that look right now is Edge. And Ciampa and Edge ain't too far off from the looks department these days. So,
I mean, I don't know.
I
get
get
it, but Ciampa's work is solid. And, I mean, shit, Goldberg look old as fuck, too.
Does Vince give a fuck about Ciampa's work?
But Ciampa look like that guy is chiseled from granite.
Yeah,
he's still a small guy compared to the people on the main roster.
Yeah, but he looks legit no matter what, no matter the size. He puts a whooping on you and it makes it look pretty legit.
Again, they have Edge. If you have the choice between having Ciampa on your card or Edge on your card, who are you picking?
I mean, it depends on where Edge is. If Edge is on his way out, I'm going with Ciampa.
I'm going with Ciampa.
Edge isn't on his way out, though.
Is he?
I'm still going with Ciampa.
And they both got the same neck injuries. They're the same fucking person. Edge just got more size on him. I don't know. Ciampa will go to the main roster. That's where they're going to call him. He said he wouldn't do it. He would retire before he did it. He's made multiple appearances on the main roster. I think he'll go up there, but I don't think that it's going to work out for him.
I think he made that statement because back when he made it, NXT actually meant something. Doesn't mean that anymore. So he's like, fuck it.
Yeah, but also, do you think Ciampa's just about the money now?
He probably is stacking his paper up so he can leave. And
I don't even want to see Ciampa in AEW if he were to leave. I know people would throw that out there.
I think he's done. After this WWE run, he may be done.
Yeah. And then he'll be back here, and maybe he can come and squash.
I mean,
Mustafa.
I don't think he's done with the business. I mean, there's probably roles that he could fill. You know, like an agent or manager, something.
Yeah.
I think he's done taking bumps.
Yeah. So, like I said, I think Edge is on the main roster. I don't think it'll work out for Ciampa, but I think Ciampa's going to take the W here. I think Tony D'Angelo is still a little bit too green, and I don't think he should be getting the victory here. They already used Ciampa in that way to put over Braun Breaker, so that's why I think he leaves standing on his 2 feet.
Like you said, Vince don't give a fuck about Tommaso Ciampa.
Yeah, but I also don't think he gives a fuck about Tony D'Angelo either right now. All right, what else we got?
And in the words of 1990 Vince McMahon, that remains to be seen. All right, next match is one that I'm personally looking forward to. 2 of my favorites. Gunther, hate that name, versus L.A. Knight.
I got to say that Gunther has gotten himself in tremendous shape. Like I never thought that Walter could look the way that he looks. I think that LA Knight wins, and I also think Gunther gets called up to the main roster.
Yeah, I think it's time for LA Knight to finally start getting some W's because he's just taking a lot of L's lately. But I think they both get called up to the main roster, to be honest, because LA Knight has a tremendous Vince McMahon likable look.
Yeah, but I also think he's somebody that can remain in NXT to work with these young guys. So, and I think Gunther has,
That'd be a waste of his talent, but
I don't think it'd be a waste of his talent. I think that it'd be him being able to impart, like, if you look at the entire NXT landscape, there's nobody down there with probably more experience than LA Knight as far as just traveling throughout the entire world and all the different promotions pretty much. And so the breadth of knowledge that he has is almost like a John Morrison, but they didn't utilize John Morrison in that way. I think that he could serve a purpose down in NXT for the next year before he gets called up to the main roster. But I think that they need somebody like Gunther on the main roster right now.
Okay. If they let him be him, if they make him be Omos, I'm gonna be pissed.
Lord have mercy. If he does the job to Omos, I'm really done. But I'm going with Gunther for the win.
All right.
I think it's gonna be an excellent match.
Yeah, I said Gunther. I mean, I said LA Knight. So,
and I'm going with LA Knight. All right, next up, my man Carmelo Hayes, the North American NXT champion, will be defending his belt in a ladder match against Cameron Grimes, Santos Escobar, Grayson Waller, and Solo Sikoa.
I really feel like the North American title in NXT is more important than the NXT title itself these days.
Question: how long has Carmelo Hayes held the championship?
It's only been a few months. Well, he unified it a couple of months ago, but then he won the North American title probably, I feel like it's coming up on a year.
Okay.
Yeah, whenever they got rid of 205 Live. No, it hasn't been a year. It's been like 8 months or something like that.
So this might be wishful thinking, but it's a prediction, more like a guess. I'm going with Solo Sikoa.
Interesting pick.
Because I think after this weekend, Cameron Grimes gets his walk-in papers.
Oh, it hasn't even been that long. He unified the belts in January.
I said that.
No, you said it's been almost a year.
No, I said it's a couple of months when he unified it. He won it before that, though.
Oh, okay. Yeah. All right. Come back to me. I'll let Mustafa answer.
I want to see Carmelo Hayes retain. I think we got a lot more to do with Carmelo Hayes.
So let me ask
and
you.
That's where I was coming from. I was thinking Carmelo Hayes retains, but I also want to see my boy, and I'm blanking on his name right now. And you said it already.
Santos Escobar?
No, the last one that just made it in.
Grayson Waller?
Cameron Grimes.
Yeah, Cameron Grimes. I'm a Cameron Grimes guy.
Yeah,
but I think Carmelo Hayes retains here. Because I think they really have something in Carmelo Hayes. So
let me ask you too, more specifically Mustafa, because he watches NXT a lot more. Where are they going next with Carmelo Hayes then?
See, I feel like him and Cameron Grimes really haven't had their real singles program. I would like to see that. That's probably actually the biggest thing I want to see.
Okay. I stand by. I think Cameron Grimes is going to be gone pretty soon.
Gone from the WWE universe or gone from NXT?
Gone from the WWE.
See, I don't think so. I think they like him there.
Okay.
I mean, he even shaved his chest and stuff for them.
You know, the WWE make you do goofy shit just to see if you're going to follow directions and still let you go.
Yeah, that's true. Just to clarify something, it was on October 12th where Carmelo Hayes defeated Isaiah Swerve Scott to win the NXT North American Championship. Then Isaiah Swerve went to the main roster, then he was fired in November?
Vince was like, if we wanted Chris Bay, we would have just hired him.
God damn it, who went to Walmart and got this Chris Bay?
That's over in AEW.
All right, next up, we got a triple threat for the NXT Tag Team titles. The Creed Brothers versus MSK versus the Champs, Imperium.
I'm going to go with MSK.
Hey, I was impressed with the Creed Brothers when I saw the Dusty Cup. I'm going to go with the Creed Brothers.
I'm going to third that and say the Creed Brothers. Wait, no, you said MSK. I'm going to second
MSK
and say the Creed Brothers. Because Imperium, they've had it before. I mean, they're okay as a tag team, but they don't need to be champions.
MSK's had it before. I think they're gonna push the Creed brothers.
And I don't think Imperium fits into this new NXT. So
no, they probably gonna be gone too.
All right, next up, we got a Fatal 4-Way. It's a lot of multiple people, man, matches involved. Jesus.
That's what you do when you got green people, right?
No, you don't do that when you got green people. You try to go, you don't put them in matches with more people, but yeah. Fatal 4-Way.
I missed the 5-match fucking takeovers. And all matches meant something. But anyway.
Well, you got to think now they takeovers are like twice a year now.
It's stand and deliver.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'll save my shitting on WrestleMania.
Hold on, I just got one quick question because I remember you guys coming on this podcast when they turned the Ronda Rousey match with Becky Lynch into a triple threat, and you were like, well, they're doing that because Ronda's green, and if something happens and gets fucked up, it's better for them to have this extra person in there. Now you're saying if they're green, you don't want to have a bunch of people in there. They added EO and Kaylee Ray to this because Cora Jade is not ready for this spot.
If there's one green person and 2 vets, that makes sense because you can cover the green person, yes.
Right.
In this Fatal 4-Way, I don't know. I still feel like Mandy Rose is green. I don't know.
I was going to say you got 2.5.
two and a possible.
No offense against Mandy, like she's doing her thing as a heel, being that kind of heel, the breast out. But
I think this is some of Mandy's best work.
I agree.
Well, it's really the first time she's gotten to do really any real work.
True that. Why is Io Shirai just in a holding pattern? Put her on the fucking main roster. What are they waiting for?
They got too many Asian people up there now.
Do they?
Well, not Mia Yim. What's the Chinese chick that we've only seen a couple of times with the Mortal Kombat gimmick?
Oh, she's Chinese.
Xia Li. I said Asian. I never said Japanese or anything, did I? Okay. I said they got their Asian quota on the main roster.
Well, they only got one Chinese person.
But again, I think that just like with Dakota Kai, I think they missed the boat with Io Shirai a couple years ago.
Well, Asuka's coming back, so they're going to have a Japanese person, too.
Yeah, and they're just going to throw them together in a fucking tag team. Which, whatever.
Oh, speaking of which, shout out to,
Steiner Brothers?
Huh?
Steiner Brothers?
No, not the Steiner Brothers. We know they're getting inducted to Kairi Sane making her re-debut over in Japan this past weekend. So I don't know if you saw that match.
No.
But just thought I'd throw that out there.
I did see that she debuted. I'm just waiting on her to drop this loser husband of hers and marry me because we deserve to be together forever.
Tamina is waiting on you. How dare you?
Schnicker?
Tamina.
Yeah, she can get it.
Nobody meaner than Tamina. All right, anyway, so who are we picking? I do think that Mandy Rose is going to drop the belt. I don't think Cora Jade is going to get it. And you're talking about Io Shirai being in a holding pattern. I think Kylie Ray is going to get it here. Kaylee Ray. Oh, I say Kylie Ray. Kaylee Ray.
I go back and forth with Kaylee Ray and Mandy Rose. I would probably maybe like to see Mandy Rose keep it. And I would like to see her lose it to Sarray, but we'll see.
I think I'm just gonna go on just take a wild guess. I think Mandy Rose is we're gonna retain. Like I said, she's doing some of her best work, so why not build her up a little bit more so she can put someone over at the appropriate time?
See, I want jealous Mandy Rose. She loses her belt while the Rex Toxic Attraction still has theirs. To tell that story. But all right, what else we got?
All right, and then speaking of people going from the main roster to NXT to get a little refresh, we got the NXT title match. We got Braun Breaker versus Dolph Ziggler.
Well, this is a no-brainer. It's Braun Breaker.
Oh, can't be.
See,
Well, it shouldn't be. Let me put it that way, because Braun Breaker is going to the main roster. We know that, so it makes sense to keep it on Dolph. There's no point I mean, in a logical world, him going up as NXT champion, just like they did Killer Cross, that was a fail because they made that championship look like trash, having them job out his first night to Jeff Hardy in like 3 seconds. That was ridiculous.
Send him up there like KO.
Right. But they won't.
To challenge Roman Reigns.
Right. Anyway.
Where's John Cena with his open challenge? But I'm going to go with Dolph Ziggler retaining.
Well, this is all dependent, before you go, Chris Black, this is all dependent on where you see them going. Who do you see being the next challenger for the NXT Championship? That's why I picked Ciampa to go over, because I think him and Braun have to have their rubber match, because they only had 2, right? Ciampa won 1 and Braun won 1.
I feel like they had their third match. Maybe not.
They had a tag team match where they were together.
Yeah, because Ciampa versus Braun, the first time Ciampa retained, and the second time Braun Breaker beat him for the title. I don't think they've had a third singles match yet.
Yeah, so that's why I picked him to go over, because I think that him and Braun have to have their third match.
I would like to see Dolph Ziggler go over. I would like to see him work a program with LA Knight, just so we can eventually get LA Knight and Robert Roode pointing at each other like that Spider-Man meme.
So this is a tough one because, like you both have said, basically, if Dolph goes over, Braun, I don't think gets another rematch. So who's Dolph Ziggler going to work with? LA Knights is a good pick. I guess Dolph Ziggler, again, he's always been the kind of like the measuring stick. If you can't have a good match with Dolph Ziggler, you probably need to, not be working in NXT or WWE for that matter. Yeah. But at the same time, if Braun Breaker wins, so they've hot potatoed the title now a little bit too much. It went from Ciampa to Breaker, from Breaker to Dolph Ziggler in a matter of 4 months? So I think they have to keep it on Dolph Ziggler. I mean, hell, he's not doing anything on the main roster. Might as well use him in NXT.
Yeah, well, then that also just means whoever does win the LA Knight versus Gunther match is going to be the next challenger for the title. And I wouldn't mind seeing Gunther versus Dolph Ziggler, because Dolph is going to sell it. Dolph is going to sell, but he ain't really going to have to really sell because it's Gunther.
The thing is, another thing with that is, like, if Dolph Ziggler does beat Braun Breaker, and he drops the title to somebody else, then Braun Breaker never got his comeback. Got his Dolph never got his comeuppance from Braun Breaker, and he has to. So I don't know. I'm kind of torn. I think it makes most sense for Dolph to retain and work with some of the younger guys, and maybe Braun Breaker comes back around, maybe during the summer, to beat Dolph Ziggler. Or
I don't know what you do with Braun Breaker during the summer, though. He's already ascended the mountaintop. He's like, there's nowhere else on the roster for him. He's either at the top or he's nowhere at this point.
I think bringing him up to the main roster.
D'Angelo?
I think bringing Braun Breaker, believe it or not, onto the main roster now would be a mistake. I'm sorry. I think it's going to be a total mistake. I don't have faith in WWE creative to do right by this man. He's got loads of potential, and I think they're going to squander it if they try to rush things.
Yeah, he can't go up there with Veer debuting.
I don't know. Throw some tougher competition at Braun Breaker. Have Braun and Gunther go on a series of matches for a couple months. I don't know.
All right. So who was your picks?
Dolph.
Okay. And I was the one who said Braun. So, all right.
It's got to be the odd one out. And then after that match happens, we go to WrestleMania Night 1. A couple hours later.
Yeah.
And I don't know where you pulled up what's on each night. So
wiki.
On the wiki?
Yeah.
Because on their website is no fucking help at all. Not at all. Like the most
people talk shit about Wikipedia, but whenever we are doing our predictions and I pull up the match cards, I always use Wikipedia and they're never wrong.
All right. Yeah. All right. I gotta pull it up now. Whoa. I'll fix it next time. Leave me alone. All right. So, WrestleMania Night 1 with Xavier Mustafa in the building with bells on, hanging from the rafters. Oh, no, you got a suite. Never mind.
I am amongst the people.
Oh, you're
really?
amongst the people. I didn't know that. I would have went.
Now, I am in the club section, though. So.
You're in the club? The club.
Club section, apparently that's where the Dallas Cowboys come out. That's where the little tunnel is. We have our own private, our own private bathrooms and food court and stuff like that.
I thought
Basically
you were
away from the
part
peasants.
of the club, the ones that beat up John Cena.
Oh, no.
The same ones that shaved off Chris Black's head. At least one of them. Part of that club. All right, anyways, let's get to it. WrestleMania Day 1 matches. Opening up the show, more than likely, Raw Women's Championship. Becky Lynch versus Bianca Belair. I'm almost surprised they didn't turn this into a hair versus hair match after the segment they had on Monday night where Bianca Belair cut off a lock of Becky Lynch's hair, and now she's out here rocking it, not knowing that Gigi Dolan has stolen her thunder when it comes to rocking that hair.
Time for Becky to drop that title, and it's time for Becky to come back to the good side, because that's the Becky Lynch that everybody loves. I don't like this heel Becky Lynch. I don't like this Becky Rollins mix she got going on. Yeah, but give us babyface Becky. She's dropping the title. Bianca Belair gets her WrestleMania moment. Because she won it. Didn't she? Did she win it in front of people?
SummerSlam in like 10 seconds.
Well, no. He's talking about Bianca. That she went in front of people, and she went in front of 25,000 people at WrestleMania last year.
Yeah, it was last year. It was limited, but it was in front of people.
Okay. Yeah. So she gets her big moment in front of a real audience.
Is she from Texas?
No, she's from Tennessee.
Atlanta,
oh, okay.
Yeah, Knoxville. Yep.
All right. So not only does Bianca Belair need to win, I hate to say it, this needs to be a squash.
Well, you're not going to get that. This is almost a blood feud at this point. I wouldn't be surprised if this match actually ended in a DQ. They just pissed the fans off to start the show off. They've given Becky Lynch all the ammunition.
Okay, so history dictates that babyface goes over in the first match. At least that's standard wrestling. Sorry, I'm breaking rules or whatever. That's standard wrestling logic. You got to start the night off hot. I think Bel-Air squash will do that, or just a win in general. But they got to start the night off hot. Bel-Air's got to win.
They're gonna have a 20-minute. They're gonna have like a 22-minute match.
I don't know. It'd be shocking if she just kind of finished her off pretty quickly. But I see what y'all saying. It is kind of a blood feud. Although I don't think that this match really needs to be that long. That's why I'm saying it needs to be a squash.
Becky Lynch. Their whole thing is that Becky hasn't been beaten in 3 years.
And Becky needs to go down because, like Mustafa said, everyone's tired of this heel gimmick. Maybe she needs to get overly confident, and that's why she loses so quickly and then finally comes back to her senses.
You know it's going to end on a roll-up. All right. Mustafa give his prediction?
Yes, it is.
All right, Bianca. Everybody said Bianca. All right, next up, you got The Miz and Logan Paul versus the Mysterios. Celebrity on the card. I think the celebrity actually going to lose in this match. I think the Mysterios go over.
I think the Mysterio goes over, and then I think we finally get the heel turn the fans have always wanted, that we have always wanted. Maybe even on a subconscious level, but we will finally, I hope, see Rey Mysterio turn on the sun.
Rey Mysterio turn on the sun. After they win? Really?
That's what I want to see.
After they win?
Yep.
Nice. Nice. Hell yeah, Rey Mysterio be like, you soft in the motherfucker. You soft as baby shit. Yeah, unfortunately, I think the Mysterios are going to win. And I saw bits and pieces of Raw. I had it on. I was kind of paying attention to it. Dominic is the shits. I'm sorry. He is. He's the shits.
So who you picking, Hook or Dominic?
Hook by a mile.
Or Brock Anderson.
Brock Anderson.
Who?
I'm picking everybody's kids.
He's Harry Mustafa so disrespectful.
What's his name? Brian Pillman Jr. I'll pick everyone over him. Dominic,
Jungle Boy.
Look, yeah, Dominic just he just looks like he doesn't belong in the wrestling ring. He just does. I'm sorry.
I feel like, and no offense, I'm not saying that like he's not a good looking kid or anything like that, but I feel like Dominic should have the mask on. I
thought I was saying some mean shit.
Now Rey Mysterio gonna walk up on that stage.
Well, no, because remember when he tied his mask off in WCW, people was like, "Wow, he looked young and I don't want to say dopey. He looks young and unimportant when he has that mask off." His son looks that way. Like he needs a mask so we can take him serious.
Yeah, Rey Mysterio had like that Jason head, like when Friday 13th when he took the mask off.
Bogus. This and he got the Jason Voorhees.
All right, so I think this, like I said, the Mysterios go over, and I think this is where you get Logan Paul knocking out the Miz. So that's what this segment is for. Next up, you got Seth Rollins versus To Be Determined. Right now, there are rumors swirling still that it's going to be Cody Rhodes. Vince McMahon says he's going to handpick an opponent worthy. And so the rumors are Cody Rhodes or Shane McMahon returning to WWE. Either way, it's somebody returning to WWE. I'm more inclined for it to be Shane McMahon.
I think it'll be Shane McMahon and Cody, to be honest, just so that they can have Shane McMahon jump off something and have his WrestleMania moment as normal. And also, too, I don't see Vince McMahon picking like Cody. Why would he pick Cody?
Right.
Like, to me, that doesn't sound right. Now, before you go, Chris Black, I just want to get something off my chest because I was very, very pissed about this. You had Seth Rollins do all this shit last week talking about he's going to hold up Raw. Then y'all didn't have him hold up Raw. Y'all did a segment that aired before the show.
7 a.m.
That Vince McMahon is going to be handpicking his opponent. Why? I really wanted to see whatever Seth Rollins was going to do.
Creative couldn't come up with something.
I think they just had too much going on Raw. That's what I think it was. And it was like, we don't have time for this segment.
Really? It was a whole lot of nothing. That was terrible in terms of a go-home show.
It's actually funny because they had their highest ratings on that go-home show on Monday that they've had since like August of last year. They had 2 million people at the first hour, 2.1 million for the second hour, and then it dropped down to like 1.9 million in the third hour.
That's because people thought something was going to happen.
Yeah, they're just trolling. I definitely think that since the rumors have been running all over the place, I think Shane McMahon will probably be the mystery opponent. They're saving Cody for after WrestleMania. Still a if. Because I'll believe it when I see it.
Just have it be Veer. Like, just say screw it. Like, we told you guys we're going to debut him on the 4th or whatever they said. Let's debut him here.
Just have the one Bella twin book and make it be Vader.
It's going to be Jinder Mahal. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. I just realized what you said.
It's like, not too bright. Not too bright, that one.
She may have been misquoted. I did read something she might have been misquoted, but I don't know. It's still funny to me.
Yeah, like I said, I think it's going to be Shane. I think whoever he goes against is losing, though. I think Seth is going to win. He's been on a hot streak.
Yeah, definitely Seth is winning, no matter who it is.
Yeah. Who knows? It might be Xavier Mustafa. He just ain't spilling the beans.
Right.
And then at least we know Dominic Mysterio wouldn't be the worst person on the card. Anyways, Drew McIntyre taking on Happy Corbin.
True. That's all I got to say about this.
You know what? I'm gonna be that oddball out because I don't care. I'm gonna go with Happy Corbin.
I actually think Happy Corbin. Well, actually, no, sorry, I forgot something. Yeah, gotta go with Drew McIntyre, and we'll get to the reasons why later.
Oh, I know where you're going.
Next up, we got the SmackDown Tag Team Champions, the Usos, taking on Rick Boogs and Shinsuke Nakamura. Easy win for the Usos.
Agreed.
See, if I was booking, I'd throw a wrench in those plans and have them lose, but they're going to return.
I think Shinsuke is going to be future endeavored soon.
Yeah, his entire main roster run has been a big disappointment.
Not his entire main roster run.
I said what I said.
All right, next up, we got the SmackDown Women's Championship being defended by Charlotte Flair, taking on Rowdy, Ronda Rousey.
Wait a minute, we're getting both women's titles on the night one?
Yep. That's the night if you want to see the ladies.
Ugh. But then we got that shitty tag match. Ugh, never mind. Whatever.
I mean, come on, we know who's winning this match.
Do we?
Yeah, we do. Ronda Rousey.
Do we? I feel like this should have been turned into a submission match. Make it interesting.
Ooh, that will be good.
We do still have one more SmackDown. Like I said, we're recording this on Wednesday. But if I was WWE, I would put a stipulation on this. They don't have any stipulation matches, so.
You know, it'd be fun. No, they're not. Sorry, Ronda Rousey. I'm not going to speak for Charlotte Flair. Ronda Rousey ain't talented enough. I said they could do a submission match and pull off a double turn like Stone Cold Bret Hart, but Rousey, no.
They might as well just turn Ronda heel, but babyface Charlotte will never work either.
I mean, well, depends on who she's feuding with.
It'll never work. They tried it. They tried babyface Charlotte. It doesn't work.
Well, she's got too much. Well, she's got too much heat on her because of all the, down the throat. Oh, excuse me. Let me not say that. All the shoving her down everyone's throat is what I meant to say.
Wait, where's the button?
I'm sorry. Don't.
You think they would dare do that?
And I think they would. I actually think Ronda needs to lose to get the crowd. If they want Ronda to be a babyface, Ronda has to lose here. I think. I don't think tapping her out is the way to go, but I think that that's the way the WWE is going to book it and see it.
If Ronda loses, she's going to turn heel. She's not going to lose. Come on now.
I could see her losing. She's supposed to be there until next WrestleMania. I could see Ronda losing here to humble her and to try to endear her to the fans, because she wins here. Is no different than Charlotte holding the belt at that point.
Well, what would they need to humble her for? Because in
the eyes of the fans, because like I just said, there is really no difference between Ronda and Charlotte holding that belt. Charlotte has a lock on that belt. Ronda would have a lock on that belt. And that's what got people to turn on Ronda in the first place.
You make a good argument because, Ronda Rousey is too green because, they pretty much have buried the entire women's division. So either way, who the fuck is Charlotte going to work with? Who the fuck is Ronda going to work with? Who the fuck is Bianca Bel-Air going to work with? Like, they've completely shitted on the entire women's division. So I get what you're saying. Ronda Rousey is too, I'm sorry, she's not that great of a worker, regardless of what anyone else thinks. She's not that great of a worker, and I don't think she can carry a women's title program on her own. And who's she going to work with besides Charlotte?
Yeah, so I'm going with Charlotte. I think Charlotte should win here if they want to build Ronda into this baby face and try to get some sympathy for her. But I think that they're going to do it in the worst possible way and have Charlotte maybe not even tap out, but have her pass out in the figure eight.
Charlotte's going to have to win dirty if she wins. I mean, it has to be dirty as shit. That's the only way. That's the only way I will agree with Ronda Rousey losing is if Charlotte goes over dirty as fuck.
Maybe she beats her legs into the stairs and like wraps it around the pole and does all of that shit. Because I don't think they're gonna have I don't think they're gonna have Charlotte go over dirty in some obvious way, but it's gonna be the tools available to her. Like, I don't think they're gonna have a ref down and Charlotte's gonna start beating on her with a chair or a kendo stick. I think it's gonna be more of wrapping the legs around the pole, or Ronda does something stupid, like they're gonna have her try to jump off the top rope and it looks like she tweaked her knee a little bit, and then you're gonna have Charlotte chop blocking her and taking advantage of the leg and softening it up, and Ronda passing out from the pain. I don't think they should have Ronda tap, but like I said, it's WWE. But I think Charlotte should win here.
Yeah. Again, like I said, you put up a good argument, and I'm this close to agreeing with you, but I'm gonna stick with Ronda Rousey because WWE just makes bad choices. So I'm gonna stick with my original one, but you have convinced me that I think Charlotte deserves to win. Maybe deserves is the wrong word.
I'm going with Ronda. I don't have much more to say to that, but y'all said everything. So,
and then we got the final segment to close out night one, which is going to be the KO show featuring Stone Cold Steve Austin. You can call it a match, you can call it a brawl, you can call it a fight, you can call it whatever you want to. What are we expecting from this segment?
Stone Cold is going to be opening a can of whoop ass.
This is going to be no different than The Rock and Eric Rowan. Not really a match, but there's going to be some physical altercation going on. And Stone Cold is going to, he's got to. It's going to be the glass shattering. He's going to stomp a mud hole in Kevin Owens. He's going to give him the stunner. And then he's going to drink some beer. It's got to happen.
Does Stone Cold get his leg up high enough to not kick Kevin Owens in the dick like he did Byron Saxton?
Hey, sometimes you got to kick people in the dick. It's okay. It's Stone Cold.
Kevin Owens will sell it regardless.
I don't think there's a lot of selling involved. You get kicked in the dick. You wouldn't know about that anymore.
Right. I'm protected now. I'm safe. I'm in the clear.
Got tired of buying cups. Yeah, I don't really know what to expect out of this. Stone Cold just raising hell, sending the people home happy from night one. So then we go over to night two, and we're gonna have Bobby Lashley versus Omos, which I hate what they did on Raw with having Bobby Lashley knock down Omos. I would have rather them had Bobby Lashley have Omos reeling and take Omos down to a knee, because we've never seen that, and save Bobby actually taking him off his feet for WrestleMania. But they decided against that, and this is where we're at. And I'm actually gonna picking Omos to go over Bobby Lashley here, because I think Lashley's still injured. He's just healthy enough to have this match to get his WrestleMania payday.
Listen, during this match, I'm going to be choosing: do I want to use the stall or the urinal? Or if I want the burger or the hot dog.
Okay.
So I don't get two shits about this match.
Go ahead and get that glizzy.
Bobby Lashley. I know they're gonna have almost win. But goddamn it, I want Bobby Lashley.
If I haven't been clear up to this point, I absolutely cannot stand Omos. I can't. He's an embarrassment in the ring. Sorry. He just is. He just looks like let me watch my language. He looks like a special needs person. And I don't want to see him shuffling around the ring. It's an fucking embarrassment. I feel sorry for Bobby Lashley because he's gonna lose. Omos is gonna win. I can't stand it.
All right, next up, we got the Raw Tag Team Champions, RK Bro, defending against the Street Profits and Alpha Academy. And I'm going to pick the Street Profits. I'm liking the tough streak that they're on.
RK Bro with the W, baby.
Street Profits, turn them heel. I want to see a mean streak out of the Street Profits as well. Street Profits all the way.
Yep.
Profits heel if the Bianca Bel-Air is baby.
It's possible.
Yeah, Alpha Academy is kind of like a tweener thing right now. RK Bro is definitely babyface. So, like I said, I'm liking the more aggressive Street Profits that we've been seeing.
Yeah, maybe not just straight out heel yet, but a more aggressive, yeah.
Then next up, we got the comedy segment of the show, which is going to be Sami Zayn versus Johnny Knoxville, which I'm pretty sure this is going to have all of the Jackass characters making an appearance in this match. And isn't this a Falls Count Anywhere match, right?
Yeah, it's some type of
anything goes match.
Yeah, anything goes. There we go.
So,
Johnny Knoxville all day.
Yeah, I think the Jackass has it.
Of course.
And Johnny Knoxville is going to win. I was just agreeing with Xavier Mustafa. The Jackass has it. Yeah.
I am rolling my eyes right now, but Johnny Knoxville is going to win because of the shenanigans. We're going to see a shit ton of shenanigans. And like you said, the Jackass crew is going to be probably involved. And Sami Zayn is going to get fucked out of a WrestleMania match.
He gonna like that WrestleMania money though.
He is, but god damn it!
I actually think Sammy's looking forward to this.
It's an easy night. It's an easy night for him.
And it's one of those moments where you get to show how good of a wrestler you are, like making Johnny Knoxville look fucking good out here. Speaking of making people look good, next up we're gonna have Pat McAfee versus Austin Theory.
What the hell does that mean?
What do you mean?
What does that mean?
What does what mean? Pat McAfee versus Austin Theory?
Somebody look good. What you trying to say? Like one of them don't look good? Like one of them gotta elevate the other? Because I think both of these gentlemen are gonna go in and they're gonna tear it down because they're both tremendous talents.
They're both tremendous athletes, but this is where Austin Theory gets to prove himself. Adam Cole, baby, carried Pat McAfee through their match, but
he led him.
He was the ring general in that match. This is going to be Austin Theory's opportunity to prove himself. He's had a lot of eyes on him for the past 3 years, all the way from what was the feeder system to NXT that they had down there?
Evolve.
Yeah, all the way from Evolve into NXT to the main roster. He's had eyes on him as being the next AJ Styles, the future, and all that. He gets to prove it here.
That's because the kid is good. And even in Evolved, he was having fantastic matches. NXT, it was kind of, because they had him do random stuff. Then they put him with the Way. And even though he was doing a silly character, he still had fantastic matches. He's having fantastic matches now.
Yeah.
Every day, all day. Pat McAfee, yes, he was probably guided by Adam Cole, but I feel like he did hold his own. I feel as if he didn't have to be led that much. So that's why I'm very, very looking forward to this match, because I think these guys are going to go out there and they're going to have a great, fantastic match. I don't care who wins this because I like both of them, but if I have to pick one, I'm probably going to go with Austin Theory.
I'm going to go with Pat McAfee for the confrontation of Austin Theory having to go back to Vince McMahon with his tail between his legs.
You both make really good points. I think it'd be damaging, however, if Austin Theory loses to Pat McAfee. But it would make sense storyline-wise because the whole Vince McMahon can be, the disappointed dad or whatever.
Vince is going to be out there. He's going to make his way down the ringside if Austin Theory loses.
But I think we're giving creative too much credit with that scenario. I think the simple thing is just have Austin Theory win and do whatever's necessary to win. And that's how he impresses Vince McMahon. So I'm going with Austin Theory.
I don't think it should be a clean victory by no means. I think it needs to be a dirty victory, but he needs to win.
Yeah.
I think they need Pat McAfee back on commentary that night. So say Pat McAfee wins. I think everything's going to be resolved in the show. I think Pat McAfee wins. goes, cleans up, gets back on commentary, is gloating about his victory. We have a segment with Vince and Austin Theory in the back. Vince is on his ass, and later in the night you have, because they have when they have to do those big promo packages and setup and stuff like that for the next match, you have Austin Theory come down and attack Pat McAfee or something like that as one of those random things on the show, furthering their feud. But that's me being creative, and we know WWE pays 3,000 people and have them under the title creative, but haven't seen anything they've actually produced.
Well, we know about your creative.
Eat a glizzy. Anyways, Women's Tag Team Championship, Clean Zelina and Carmella versus Naomi and Sasha Banks versus Rhea Ripley and Liv Morgan versus Natalya and Shayna Baszler.
And this is where my choices that I made earlier during the almost match, I do the reverse. So if I pick the stall, I'm picking the urinal. And if I picked the hamburger, I'm eating the hot dog.
Look, I'm out there to see Naomi and Sasha's entrances, Carmella's entrance, Rhea Ripley, and I'm there for all the entrances in this match.
And
but
the bell rings.
And then as far as my actual interest in this match, 0. There's no actual tag teams in this match except for the tag team champions, and they're not even a tag team.
I want whoever Rhea Ripley is teaming with them to win.
Yeah, I think Rhea and Liv are actually going to win here. This is going to be Liv's both Rhea and Liv's compilation, whatever.
Consolation.
Compensation, I guess, whatever. Consolation prize. Yeah. Especially Liv. Liv got fucked out of the women's title how many times? And I mean like she wasn't supposed to win it, but every time Becky would botch the fucking ending of the matches with her making Liv look worse than she was already supposed to look after losing.
Oh Lord.
And Rhea was just tag team champion with Nikki Ash or whatever. But I think Rhea and Liv should win here. Throw Liv a bone. Give her a belt.
Okay. I think everyone loses in this match, including the fans. But because the women's titles don't mean shit. They mean jack shit. But if I had to pick, and I'm only going to go with who I want to see win. This has nothing to do with any guesses or anything. I'd like to see Sasha Banks and Naomi win. So I'm going to go with them.
So you can get that Sasha Banks stabbing Naomi in the back eventually.
What happened to
Naomi? Give them something to do.
What happened to Naomi and Cruella de Vil? Where did their storyline go? Did we just forget about it?
Yeah, Vince probably forgot about it.
Over.
Didn't she lose the jacket? I don't know.
Who knows?
Sonya Deville versus Naomi would actually been something I would be interested in seeing.
I thought that was going to be a WrestleMania match, like, back by around the Royal Rumble.
Sonya ain't even on the card. At least, you know what? At least if you're going to have her at least on the card, at least make that a more than one episode issue where Ronda broke her arm. The one where she forgot that her arm was broken and was scratching her face and doing all other shit. And was like, oh, yeah, my arm broke. Let me put it back in the sling. At least they could have said, okay, this is why I can't wrestle. They didn't even explain it away. You know what? I'm over it.
Next up, we have Tru Element versus Tru Element. I mean, Edge versus AJ Styles.
Oh, my God.
Wow.
Can I say I honestly, I'd be happy if either one of these guys win. It's hard to pick a winner.
I think Edge is going over.
I'm going to go with AJ Styles. It's hard to choose. I'm not going to be disappointed either way.
Look, this is how Edge gets away from being this heel character. He wanted to bring out the best. He wanted the pit bull. He wanted, the very best version of AJ Styles. He's going to get it. He's going to lose. And Edge just goes back to being a babyface. But I wouldn't be sad if Edge wins. But I'm just saying, it makes, in terms of logic, in terms of making sense, there's very little money with Edge being a heel nowadays. So I think that in order to get him back as a babyface, he got what he asked for. AJ Styles brought it, and Edge loses. And he's like, okay, I poked the bear. He showed his face, and I lost. He's got no reason to be a heel. The only reason why he's a heel is because he said he wants to bring out the very best in AJ Styles. So.
Hello?
Yeah. I thought you had something to say.
Mic drop.
I was like, I said my piece.
So I was giving you that space, a little bit.
Yeah, you always do when I don't have anything to say, but when I do have something to say, I'll pop and then you'd be like, whatever Xavier Mustafa was gonna say, and I'd just be like, really?
Whatever. Your mind is the Oscars after Will told people to keep his wife's name out their fucking mouth. Silence. Anyways, next up we have title for title. Universal Champion versus WWE Champion. Roman Reigns versus Brock Lesnar in a title unification match. I actually think that this should have been in a steel cage to drum up my interest a little bit more. Put it inside a Hell in a Cell.
Can't do that with an open stadium. They need a roof.
Yeah, I guess. No, they got that. They got that contract. No, didn't they do an open? Yeah, they had an open stadium when they did it with Shane and Undertaker. Wasn't that in Dallas?
Okay. But didn't they have to like rig up some kind of contraption? But anyway, I don't know. I doubt. I mean, this match doesn't need a cage. Would it be better in a cage? Probably. Would it be better in a Hell in a Cell? Hell yeah. But, Hell in a Cell was a couple months ago, so no. It's not that time of year yet. That's why they can't do a Hell in a Cell. So, I'm going to go out on a limb here. I'm going with Brock Lesnar because it makes shit interesting. I understand they want to keep Roman Reigns undefeated, whatever. But if Roman Reigns beats Brock Lesnar, there's absolutely nothing for him to do for the next couple months. Sure, one could argue Drew McIntyre. One could. But I think if they want to pop a ratings, they want to create some buzz, let Brock Lesnar beat Roman Reigns, and then they can, I don't know. I condemned hot potatoing the NXT title, but I can so see them hot potatoing the newly unified title or whatever the fuck they're calling it between Brock Lesnar and Roman Reigns for the next couple of months just to keep shit interesting. And I really wouldn't have a problem with it. Although everyone's probably tired of seeing Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar, it is kind of a fresh matchup because of the change of attitudes. Like Brock is just showing personality and Roman Reigns is a heel. So, I mean, they buried the rest of the competition. If Brock Lesnar can't beat Roman Reigns, who the fuck else can he work with right now? Brock has to win.
Drew McIntyre.
That's
why I picked Drew to win.
Do you really just want to feed Drew McIntyre to Roman Reigns? Because that's what's going to happen.
They're gonna have 3 matches,
and then there goes another credible contender going down to Roman Reigns. Who's next?
There's an almost out there. Look, here's the playbook. Roman Reigns. I'm just gonna go ahead and spoil my prediction. Roman Reigns is gonna win, and the people who are gonna step up, you're gonna have Edge step back up again. Almost is still out there, and they're gonna do that match eventually. And then that's gonna be his Gonzalez match, basically, when he faces Almost. And then you got Drew McIntyre out there.
You know who?
And actually, I think Edge is going to be the one that actually takes the belt from Roman.
You know who Almost reminds me of? You know that dude in Fuck, I ruined my joke.
Anyways, I am good. Yeah, that Hell in a Cell, Shane McMahon, Undertaker was in AT&T Stadium at WrestleMania 32. So they can do a cell in that stadium.
I'm sorry, the longest yard. The black football player who was like extra slow. He broke my nose. That's almost. And okay.
I can't wait till Almost comes out here on the indie scene.
Kick him right in his dick.
I don't even think your legs can get up that high.
Please. He's gonna have to catch me after I kick him in his shit.
He gonna smack the shit out of you.
Yeah, right. Yeah, right.
He's like, your name Chris, ain't it?
Tiger uppercut.
No
drop his big 7-foot ass.
Who you got, Mustafa?
So this one's tough for me.
Well, between me and Omos, come on, bro.
No, definitely not. Between Brock Lesnar and Roman Reigns. So here's my thought process. So this is a unification match. Okay, so one of them is going to have both titles. WWE has proven that they do not want to commit with at least having one world champion on at all times. That's why Brock was able to get one belt and be on TV for a long period, because you had, somebody else with the other title that could, be the guy. For them to unify it and have Brock Lesnar win it and then go away, I don't see them doing that.
Let me stop you.
That's why I see Roman winning. Now, I'm going to give you an argument for Brock, too. Go ahead, Chris Rock.
Let me stop you, because Brock Lesnar, to his credit, he's been around a lot more than he normally used to be.
Right, but I think this is just a build up to WrestleMania, though.
I think Brock is kind of settled into a bit of a routine. Now, will he be out there every single week? Probably not, but he's still going to show his face around a lot more often.
The only thing I would like to see if Brock were to win it is the fact that they would have to put focus back on the Intercontinental title, which is not being defended on the show. They have to put focus back on the U.S. title, which is not being defended on this show.
Well,
they always have titles that are not defended on the show, but they still have 27 matches. How does that work?
Yeah, well, they've also jobbed out their champions within the last couple of weeks, especially Ricochet.
That's true, because didn't he just take an L to Austin Theory?
He lost, I think, the last 3 weeks.
How is Damian Priest not on the WrestleMania card?
Oh, Andre the Giant Battle Royals on Friday, so
yeah, I know.
That's where everyone else is going to be.
Yep, so, Damian Priest, Finn Balor, all those guys.
See, now that's the type of match you put Omos in. You put him in the Andre the Giant Battle Royal so he can do his big man shit and win, and he can do that shit.
So my argument for Brock Lesnar winning it is Brock Lesnar can win it and he can go away. And then you can do a storyline with Roman Reigns where he wants his title back. He's just mowing through people and just rampaging all the way until you can get Brock Lesnar.
We already did that. I'd rather have him have a
when is it done that?
He hasn't been mowing through everybody?
No, I'm talking about like pissed off, just destroying people.
Yeah.
Well, I don't even think we could even go to that, because he was out here just stacking them and pinning them. He had the shirts and everything. Now he's chicken shit heel. So that'd be a hell of a role reversal to go back to that.
Well, think about it. If you just lost what was dear and dear to you, you would have a character switch in real life.
His insecurities would kick in, and he'd really have to prove that he's the tribal chief.
I'd rather have him have a crisis of confidence. Like, what the hell am I without the Universal title? Like, have one of those King Vegeta moments from like Dragon Ball Z, if any guys are fans of that, when you realize how much more powerful Goku was, and he just started doubting himself a little bit. Like, what the fuck, dude?
But I'm gonna go with Roman Reigns retain.
Right now, Roman Reigns is Frieza. Somebody got to take this motherfucker out.
That's what I'm saying, bro. Come on. Okay, so we've all enjoyed the heel Roman Reigns, but because The Rock was not able to do this year's WrestleMania, what are we gonna get another year of Roman Reigns running roughshod over everybody. No.
Well, The Rock was wanted for next year.
Yeah,
because it's Hollywood.
He was originally going to be in this year, but they couldn't do it. And they just kind of settled for Hollywood next year. But anyway, like I said, are we really going to watch Roman Reigns just keep mowing through people for the next year? Or does he finally suffer a loss somewhere, make shit interesting? He can always get the title back in a month or 2 or 3 or whatever. I said it once, and I will say it again. Big E should have pinned Roman Reigns. He wouldn't have lost his title at that point, but at least he was pinned. They have to get this loss out of the way. Otherwise, this shit's going to get stale real quick.
I feel like it is stale. I don't even care.
My point exactly.
And like I said,
he has to
at
lose.
At least they could have had me more interested if this was being held in a more violent arena, like I said, cage or Hell in a Cell. This has been the blood feud. This is for unification of titles. We shouldn't be having any opportunities for the Usos to get involved or anything like that, even though they probably still would. I'd rather see this competed under a different set of rules. We've seen them have the one-on-one matches numerous times. Switch it up a little bit. The only thing that you changed up is who's babyface and who's heel.
Do you think Paul Heyman is the X factor of this match?
I think this is when Paul Heyman gets his comeuppance, but I'll let Mustafa go and I'll explain what I mean by that.
I don't know. I don't know.
I'm not convinced that Paul Heyman really turned on Brock Lesnar. I'm just not. This could be a whole big ass scheme to get Roman Reigns to put up his Universal title on the line.
Well, he did try to kill him with a forklift.
Yeah, there's ways to talk, storyline your way out of that.
I don't know. I see this ending with Brock getting distracted by Paul Heyman, maybe choking him or squeezing his face or head or something, getting him up for an F5, getting hit in the dick by Roman Reigns, getting Superman punched by Roman, getting Superman punched by Roman, getting caught for an F5, wiggling out of that, hitting him with the spear, pinning Brock 1, 2, 3. But no.
I don't know.
Does this match go longer than 10 minutes?
Ooh, good question. I'm gonna go with
bell to bell, not entrances.
Bell to bell. I'll give this match a solid 14 minutes.
I'm gonna go 20.
Yeah, you know what? It's WrestleMania mania, like the second night main event. This is a big match.
So you got to think, does Brock want to sit around? How long? Because Brock is already going to be sitting around at this show. This is going to be the longest time that Brock's had to wait for his match on a pay-per-view. And how long? Because like him and Paul Heyman always said, if we're not last, we're going on first.
But I think Brock Lesnar is really enjoying this feud with Roman Reigns. I think it gave him new life just because it is, him being a babyface going against a heel Roman Reigns. It's a totally different dynamic than, Brock smash. I come in, Suplex City, and I go home. I mean, this is actually a little more interesting than what he's been working with before.
Yeah. But, all right, I think we've beaten this. We went way past 35 minutes a long time ago.
Oh, yeah. We're hitting
we're like an hour
20.
15.
Yeah, hour 20.
All right. Yeah, so those are our predictions for NXT Stand and Deliver, WrestleMania Night 1 and 2. Like I said, don't forget to hit that smash that like button. Don't forget to smack that subscribe button. Share this with your friends. Make sure you search for us on your favorite podcasting app. Subscribe to Saturday Night Slamcasters. Check us out over on Facebook, where we also have our official Slamcaster page, as well as the Saturday Night Slamcaster Slam Board, which is more of like a group room or whatever, where anybody can post in there wrestling news and updates and non-wrestling related stuff and interact with other fans as well as us. We also have a Discord channel, Saturday Night Slamcasters. You guys got anything else? And if you don't, go ahead and throw out your social medias.
You can catch me at Xavier Mustafa on Facebook and on Twitter. You can also catch my solo podcast, XM Cinema, on Facebook, Twitter, and on Instagram. Right now, we're talking about Moon Knight, so that podcast will probably be up by the time this is up. So check that out of episode 1 of Moon Knight. And yeah, that's all I got.
Bully this man into talking about the Halo series as well. And Morbius. He has to talk about Morbius.
Why? I don't want. I told you I want to see that movie. It's Sony.
Do it for the podcast.
So is that another thing we don't talk about besides Bruno and Jada? We don't talk about Morbius.
It's Sony, man. I knew it was gonna be trash, and we're starting to get the reviews in, and a lot of people are saying it's trash.
It's hard. Oh God. Anyway.
But the only thing that made me want to see it is apparently these Sony movies are going to be tied into the MCU. So that sucks because now it's like I got to watch this crap.
Marvel working Sony. That's what they're doing. Yeah, you can put your bullshit movies, your movies into our MCU.
As long as they have a post-credit scene with Blade, I'm fine with it. See what Mahershala Ali has for it.
Yeah. Anyway, you can catch me at The Natural Chris Black on Facebook and on Instagram, and at _natural_CB on Twitter. And if I do decide to watch WrestleMania live or catch it live, I'll be live tweeting like I normally do during pay-per-views, and as well as posting on the Slamcaster Slam board, our Facebook group. So be sure to join the group, follow me on Twitter. Of course, I've got my YouTube channel too, The Natural Chris Black.
And you can catch me at Slamcast TE78 over on Twitter. And I already gave you guys all of our other social media. So other than that, enjoy WrestleMania. Xavier Mustafa will be there live on the ground. And as soon as he is able, we will come back to give you guys our thoughts on the events of the weekend. I believe. We'll have to do a special YouTube episode and cover that for you guys. So make sure you do hit that like and subscribe button so that you don't miss that episode. Ring that bell so you're notified whenever new episodes go up. We up out of here. Holla at your boys. Come get slammed. Peace.